Far Cry 5 has broken cover, and now we know it's coming out on the 27th of February 2018. But that's not the only thing we know. Hang on tight now for a brisk tour of the most important stuff you need to know about the new Far Cry.
But in the end, you will thank us.
The globe-trotting Far Cry franchise has racked up more air miles than the Sultan of Brunei's private jet, and this time it's landed in the Northwestern United States in Montana in a place called Hope County. The early Far Cry 5 teaser trailers, and assorted artwork have shown us various natural environments from Hope County, among them tranquil forests, sunny meadows, scenic lakes, and great big fields where the farming folk of Hope County would be growing their crops in peace if there wasn't a Far Cry going on. As for the populated areas in this mountainous rural county, we've had glimpses of mountain town Cook City and a settlement by the name of Falls End. In good news for lovers of booze and innuendo, there are at least a couple of saloons by the respective names of the Spread Eagle and the Whistling Beaver. Yeah. And keying right into the plot, expect to find some seriously defended compounds belonging to a local cult by the name of Eden's Gate.
We must atone!
If you've played Far Cry before, you'll remember Far Cry 3's thrill-seeking tourist Jason Brody, and Far Cry 4's homecoming hero AJ Gale, and Far Cry Primal's Captain Caveman. What? In Far Cry 5, the protagonist is a deputy sheriff just doing their job. And for the first time in Far Cry 5, you won't be playing a particular hero. You'll be playing as yourself, by which we mean you'll be playing as a character you customise and not literally yourself, unless you do happen to be a deputy sheriff who's been kidnapped by a doomsday cult. But yes, you play a deputy sheriff of the gender and race of your own choosing, and you're sent to Hope County with two colleagues to take care of business. Why that business isn't important enough to send the actual sheriff and not the deputy, who knows? Maybe there was a bank robbery going on or something.
You can feel that we are creeping towards the edge.
In other Far Cry news, the entire Far Cry 5 campaign can be played in co-op mode for the first time. Previous Far Cry games have had a smattering of co-op, although not the last game, Far Cry Primal. But this time, the whole story campaign is open to cooperative play. Presumably, the fictional premise for co-op mode in Far Cry 5 is that the co-op players are the deputy sheriffs who were dispatched all together to Hope County to arrest local cult leader Father Joseph Seed. Speaking of which...
I am your father, and you are my children.
What's a Far Cry game without a powerful, charismatic villain on the box? Far Cry Primal. Actually, what we're getting at though is that unhinged but magnetic baddies are what Far Cry does best. So, we're intrigued to meet Far Cry 5 antagonist Father Joseph Seed.
For you are my children and I am your father!
This father is the leader of a well-armed doomsday cult that has been forcefully converting the people of Hope County, and who you've been sent to arrest. The arrest obviously doesn't go by the book because your colleagues wind up kidnapped and you wind up leading the fight back against the cult known as Eden's Gate. Father Joseph's flanked by his 3 Seed siblings who, we bet you anything, are 3 lieutenant mini-bosses to vanquish over the course of this game. As important as driving is to the Far Cry series, until now we've mostly been talking land vehicles and water vehicles. Sure, Far Cry 4 did give us the teeny tiny buzzer aircraft, which was less a mini helicopter and more a chair suspended under a rotor blade.
The chimney over here, I could try and drop you in the chimney.
No! You want to go up a bit? I'm about to go face first into the chimney. Detach! Yes, I'm standing right on top. Because although the buzzer supplied exciting dangling opportunities in co-op, it also left you more vulnerable than a house of cards in a wind tunnel.
Run away!
Yes!
Run away!
Alright.
I'm picking so many bits of shrapnel out of my hand.
Far Cry 5, on the other hand, is doubling down on proper air vehicles, letting you loose on helicopters, old-timey planes, and apparently here, a seaplane with a mounted gun. For those more enthusiastic about wheels than wings, there's a plethora of trucks, semi-trucks, quad bikes, tractors and gleaming American muscle cars. I'd say think twice before rolling up to the next mission in an oil tanker though, which is roughly as vulnerable as the Buzzer and roughly 100 times more flammable. In the hostile regions of Hope County, you're going to need all the help you can get. If that help can be furry and covered in teeth and or claws, so much the better. Lucky for Deputy Sheriff Yu then, that Far Cry 5 includes a so-called Fangs for Hire system similar to the animal taming in Far Cry Primal, with which you can persuade a beast to team up with you. From the looks of the trailer, you might be giving commands to a friendly bear. No word yet on whether the cows, bulls and dogs are likewise amenable to taking orders from a mere deputy sheriff, or from whence come your magical animal whispering powers, but you can be sure when we know, you'll know. When there isn't a bear around to do your bidding, you want some human firepower on your side, I guess. To this end, in Far Cry 5, the guns for hire mechanic from Far Cry 4 also returns. You know, the one that let you call in a squad of friendly fighters to help you out.
You called for help?
In the fiction of the game, these friendly humans will be members of the Resistance. Take presumable Resistance leader Pastor Jerome, for instance. He's a preacher whose flock has been commandeered by Father Joseph and his lot.
Woe to the man who leads my flock astray, says the Lord.
Pastor Jerome is the one who has to paraphrase Bible quotes in the trailer because he's had to cut out most of the Bible pages to stash a gun in there.
Then I must be the wolf.
Then here's your ally and probable supplier of planes, Nick Rye of the Rye & Sons Crop Dusting Company.
All this time, she never let me down.
He's no fan of the baddies at Eden's Gate, but more importantly, he knows how to fix a minigun to the front of a seaplane, which is exactly the kind of ingenuity and self-startership we're looking for in a deputy sheriff. Nick, you're on the team.
We're here to help, they said. You believe them?
Mary May, meanwhile, is the boss at the Whistling Beaver Saloon. We're willing to bet her bar is some kind of friendly hub in Far Cry 5, so expect to see a lot of her. Being a saloon owner, Mary has plentiful access to both Molotov cocktails and actual cocktails, which makes her our new best friend. We'll take one of each, Mary.
This place is ours.
Those were the early, important Far Cry 5 details to get in your head. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on Outside Xbox for more Far Cry 5 and other stuff.